Hello, hello! Welcome back to my stream. It is I, your humble host Sketchy, barely managing to arrive on today's stream. I honestly, for a second, thought that I wouldn't make it today. We had to delay the entire thing by an hour, but at least we've managed to start only an hour late, and I didn't need to postpone the whole stream in its entirety, so that's nice. Oh, hey there, dude. You know, when I saw that countdown, I imagine you walking fast all over your room, tidying up the place and putting on some pants. Not entirely untrue. That's surprisingly close to what was happening a moment ago, because I just walked into the house like 15 minutes ago or something like that. I had to get myself presentable and start up all the things regarding the streaming backdrop, so to speak. Hey there, Hellgate. Welcome back to the stream. Nice seeing you around again. So, crisis averted. I'm here. I'm live, and we can go back to reverse 1999, I guess. Anyway, let's scroll to the back to the story, I guess. I have more time to watch streams now. Nice. I hope that you'll enjoy today's stream despite its cuffiness, so to speak. Okay, so where did we left off last time? Reflections. Where is the story bit? Ah, there it is. I don't remember, did you even watch me play this game before, Hellgate? I don't think that I was streaming reverse yet back when you were watching my streams at the start. So probably this is new for you. You were the one who recommended it to me? Huh. I forgot, honestly. Okay, fair enough. This is Limbus. I remember you recommending Limbus. I forgot about reverse. So there's that. As you can see, I'm fairly far into the game nowadays. We are at chapter 9 and we did several side stories along the way. So I'm almost caught up to the recent happenings in the game, like close to it. Yeah, I kinda no longer play. That's a shame. Just a reminder that the anniversary is launching next week, so there's that. It seems a very time-consuming game after all. Yes, if you want to be how to say it, very meticulous about going into every tidbit of the story and lore, then yes, then it's time-consuming. Anyway, speaking of lore, let's get back to part 9 of the chapter 9, right where we left off. Did I have any of those little parts to go through, or did we go through them last time? I think we've collected all of them, right? No, there is one that I missed. Gacha by definition are made to make you spend as much time as possible. Yes, but also no. Some of them actually respect your time. Good examples will be Reverse of itself, and Nikkei, in my opinion. Because if you are not going through the long story bits, then the gameplay itself doesn't require you to spend like hours and hours of time in it. In ZZZ you can play for 5 minutes and leave per day. It's really similar for reverse, honestly. If you are not doing any story bits, you can just log in, do the dailies, and be done in like 10 minutes or so. Same with Nikkei. Honestly, that's probably the reason why I stuck with those games for so long. The only time things are if you are doing endgame or farming, well, that's true for any game, honestly. Yeah, I appreciate when dailies in online games are like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, something around that ballpark. It's the ideal amount of time to spend on a daily in a game, I think. Okay, so what is this? Typewriter record P12. They cover their eyes, they descend into madness. Read document. When they speak of Manus Vindictae, their tone is always light, often laced with jokes, colorful descriptions like a greasy-headed musician smearing tiles like a drunk Edward Goya. Frequently crop up in the poetry. Even though I have never seen such a scene myself, I can still grasp the attitude towards Manus Vindictae. It was an oppression suppressing even the past sufferings. Yet, subconsciously they ignored the similarity, perhaps out of denial, or perhaps this prison had already taught them to obey, also subconsciously. But as far as I know, Manus Vindictae did bring the terror here. Those masks drove Arcanis to insanity and caused unbearable suffering, as if they were caught in an inescapable snare. After prolonged torment, they lost the ability to utter even a single phrase of their own language, reduced to slaves of this underground faction, left with only a singular thought, their souls having left the empty husk of their former selves. And as for humans, it seems they were driven to death en masse. At night, they were not allowed prolonged sleep, woken by the companions every hour to sit beneath the watchtower and chant prayers. And by dawn, high-intensity training and interrogations that did not require or expect any answers would begin again. The purpose of Manus Vindicta is buried beneath these cruel methods, as clear as the deepest crevices in the ice field. It is nothing but destruction. They seek to completely destroy humanity. Yeah, that checks out from what we've gathered so far. That sounds like a Cookie Factory game. I've been playing MTG Arena a lot lately, but it got ridiculous, so I uninstalled it today. Huh. So I rage quit then. Fair enough. Many such cases. Happens to the best of us at times. Yes, I'm assuming that this is an article written by Doris/Erd, the blind doctor. That's clearly her typewriter in the picture. So I would assume that this is one of her records. Okay, so that was the only tidbit, right? Right. Okay. So, part 9.
Easy, easy. It's me, Garcia. We met at the gallery earlier. Please, I come in peace.
Oh, so those two shadowy figures that we kicked the asses off last time were Garcia and that other girl. Okay. Recoleta pays no mind to the young woman's explanations. Her focus holds on the woman beside him.
It's you, Octavia! The murderer herself!
Is that this illusionist guy covered in toilet paper? No, that would be the... what was his name? Realist? Something like that? He had that more of a title than a name. But he got shot last time, if you remember. And the main culprit so far is Octavia. At least the main suspect, rather. Yes, you might have missed that scene then. He was doing a slight uprising in the prison, effectively. And someone from the crowd shot him during his spirited speech. And no one knows who did it. Who done it? His body disappeared as well in the chaos. So we don't know if he is dead or not. We know that he got shot. We are assuming he's dead. Lucky for him, he had toilet paper on him to stop the bleeding. Yep. He was well prepared for that.
Please, calm yourself, Miss Recoleta. The jailer has already confirmed that she wasn't the one to fire at the idealist. The shot came from
Idealist,
someone
right.
else in the room.
Not realist. Don't know where I got that from. Honestly, he was the further thing from a realist, if you can say that even. Recoleta bites her lip, giving up a little space to the intruders.
Miss Octavia, what brings you here at this hour?
I come here out of goodwill. Believe me, I didn't want any bloodshed either. I understand you just arrived today. There's something you need to know about the inmates here.
Which is? The visitor's expression is weary and low.
We're outcasts, rejected by society and literature, and our privileges are limited within these walls. But before I started my own literature group, I struck a deal with the Panopticon authorities.
We kind of knew all that before, didn't we?
If we cooperate and stay out of trouble, they'd leave us be. We could discuss literature freely and openly in Comala. Such a thing may seem trivial to you, but this is of immense importance to us.
Oh, there's no happier thing in this world than discussing literature. No one should ever put limits on it.
You're right, Recoleta. But we're prisoners here. There are certain rules we have to follow.
She should get a cat? Why would you suggest that in her case specifically? I wouldn't say that the prison is the best place to keep a cat. Many middle-aged women that feel lonely and abandoned get a pet? True, but also she's in a prison. Also, I don't think she's middle-aged. She's like, what? In her mid-20s, probably? And that would be my guess.
Except, the idealist didn't see it our way. He refused to compromise, believing that the long poem and his so-called ism could break us free from the cage of the ever-watchful eye.
She's Asian though, is she? Octavia doesn't strike me as an Asian name, so I'm guessing she's not Asian.
Perhaps he was right. You might have achieved more if you'd listened to him. After all, visceral realism keeps us connected to who we are.
think it was mentioned somewhere that she's from South America as well, so probably not Asian.
You have to believe in the truth of visceral realism, because out there, beyond these walls, many of us still do.
And what has it changed? Garcia, you're the latest inmate here. Tell us, 3 months ago, before they arrested you and took you here, what has the visceral realism movement accomplished out there?
Don't let me check something. Okay, I was worried for a second that something was happening to the stream, but no, we are fine. Okay. Beside them, Garcia, who had been patiently leaning against the railing, produces a metallic vibration on its grates. A rough paper roll burns between his lips.
At first, it was revolutionary. Young poets joined in droves. We held gatherings. And the literary world seemed alive again. I was just a kid when the leading poets left the city. Everyone thought it was only temporary. But they didn't come back. And nothing has happened since. No one says it. But we all know. Visceral realism died in 1977.
So what year is it now? Like the 80s?
No, not for me. It's not dead as long as people still believe in it. I believe in it.
Octavia ignores the childish remark. She knows that conviction can be as fragile as a spider's web.
Belief, faith, what is this obsession with the true self? Why does your type always insist on there being a true self hiding beneath our roles in society? Our disciplines?
Look at the idealist. He never once stopped fighting for what he believed in, even long after he was put behind these bars.
Idealist, what a name he gave himself. Who will he be when he finally breaks free from the eyes of the central tower? When he is left without his willful audience? And nobody. That's what.
Why is she so harsh on that dude?
And that is a truth even he is terrified of.
Miss Octavia, I hope you've come with something more important to share than just some criticism of the idealist.
Yeah, something more tangible would be helpful.
You're right. I have an important message for you. Dr. Torres, I heard you were looking for her. The woman from the Sao Paulo Veterans Residence. She used to write under the name Erd, didn't she?
That she did. So do you have the tea to spill on her?
Yes, that's right. Do you know her? You're the first person I've met here to speak plainly about her. Do you know where she might be?
We crossed paths, but only briefly. I'm not sure where she's gone. Maybe the authorities know.
Okay, do you have anything more to share?
However, she left this with me. I think you'll need it more than I do.
Octavia hands over her personal folder. Is what, a diary or something? Before they might open it, she has already turned to leave.
We have other matters to attend to. I'll leave you to your business. Garcia, shall we?
You know what? Now that I'm looking at Octavia's portrait down there, is it just me going crazy, or is her face kind of similar-ish to Lucy's face, the mask face that Lucy is using? Because sans the hair, I would say that the faces are very similarly shaped. And the features are similar, kind of. The visitors leave in a haste, their faces and expressions obscured by the night's shadows. The Foundation's investigators open the worn manuscript folder with caution. Can you get both of their images next to each other? I mean, maybe? You know what? Let's do a little bit of investigation. I'll try to do that. 1 second. Maybe I can do it like this. Give me like 2 minutes. Hey, we've got Lucy. And let's grab Tavia. There is she. And let's do something like... Let's paste them next to each other. Here's one. Expand this. Should be able to do it like this, I think. The resolution is not the greatest. I guess it will suffice for the time being. Okay, let's save this. And I'll share the window with you. Okay. Will it be visible now? Can't. Ah, there we go. Let me rearrange this a little bit. There we go. Is this similar to you? Can I zoom it in a little bit? Yes. One is Lucy on the right, and the left is Octavia that we've just interacted with. And I'm honestly seeing a lot of similarities between them. So I'm not crazy, would you say? That they look very similar. Like a very much older version of Octavia. Like someone in the 20s and someone in the 30s, roughly, I would say. Anyway, back to the game. Let's get back to it. Enough fiddling around with detective work. The Foundation's investigators opened the worn manuscript folder with caution.
The physician told me the horrifying truth about the panopticon of Kamala and the power behind it. Manus Vindictae. By becoming the panopticon's sole patron, they seized control of the resources and the allocation system, turning this place into a living hell. I suspect that the physician, the current highest authority here, is responsible for this situation.
The physician told me the horrifying truth about the panopticon of Kamala and the power behind it, Manus Vindictae. Okay. So effectively they are admitting that the Manus Vindictae is currently controlling the prison? By becoming the Panopticon's sole patron, they seized control of the resources and the allocation system, right? Turning this place into a living hell. I suspect that the physician, the current highest authority here, is responsible for this situation. So we can assume that the physician is also associated with Manus Vindictae.
I discovered that the inmates were put through brutal training, even when they were too sick to carry out their tasks. They also forced pure-blood Arcanist inmates to wear their masks, effectively turning them into murmuring puppets.
Just as we suspected, Manus Vindictae is orchestrating everything.
As per usual, yes.
No wonder we didn't find them in the city. They've been hiding here all along.
No one would have thought to come looking for them here.
They snapped the folder shut. A familiar signature seen on the forward page of the UTTU magazine, and the receipt found in Sao Paulo's heartfelt home.
But why would Miss Octavia bring this to us? What's in it for her? Do you think she's trying to mislead us, Timekeeper?
I mean, it's not impossible.
Maybe. But the handwriting in that notebook is most certainly Erd's. If she's leading us astray on purpose, why? Miss Recoleta, what do you think? Could she be Aleph?
I will press X to doubt on that one. I don't think she is.
Not a chance. Haven't you seen how she denies everything beautiful in the world? Aleph would never be so biased.
Harsh words.
No. Aleph is like a mirror. He reflects both light and shadow.
I think she's idealizing that pen pal of hers way too much.
But, Octavia, maybe she hasn't looked at the shadow within for a long time. I know that look on her face. It's the look of a writer. I've seen so many like her during my trip. The faces of a lost, struggling generation.
Under the night sky, Kamala Prison stands like a forgotten gravestone covered by fine cold snow. In a room repurposed from a prison cell, three girls in search of someone share an absurd, bizarre tale. Meanwhile, at the entrance of the central watchtower, A jaguar knocks on a secure door.
Dr. Merlin, I'm here to report on today's event.
Come in.
Are we ever going to be told what the hell is up with the jaguar? Frantic writing breaks the quiet of the room. The jailer's visit does not deter the man behind the desk. He continues writing, wholly absorbed, as if each letter were filling the world around him.
There was a commotion in the gallery today, sir. An inmate known as the Idealist was severely injured. The inmates nearby said he lost consciousness from blood loss.
Okay, so she's implying that he survived, so someone saved him.
However, after we put everyone back in their cell, the Idealist was gone. I made a sweep of the grounds, but there was no trace of him.
So then how do you know that he survived?
It's possible that he regained consciousness and went into hiding. I'll perform a full search tomorrow.
That would be quite a feat after getting shot and bleeding out. Otherwise, I don't see where the guy in the trailer appears. I've got a theory about that. I think that... I mean, I know for a fact that the guy seen in the title image and in the trailer is the character, playable character called Aleph. And we know that Recoleta was exchanging letters with someone called Aleph. So we know it's that dude. But we haven't seen them in the story yet. So I'm guessing that he has an alter ego of sorts in this prison. That someone is him, but he's in disguise, I suppose. But I'm not entirely sure if that's just the idealist or someone else. I mean, it could be the idealist. He's covered from head to toe in, as you said, toilet paper. It could be him. The Jaguar finds herself quite unexpectedly concealing the truth about Pablo.
No need.
Oh! Well, there we go. Asking questions about answers that are given like an image later. So, the physician is Aleph, apparently? Huh. Interesting.
Sir?
He knew the consequences of breaking the rules, did he not?
Am I insane, or is the voice actor for him and the idealist the same person, but doing a different tone of voice? At least the tone is very similar.
Sir, with all due respect, I think today's incident proved just how dangerous it is to let the inmates keep their weapons.
Why the hell do they have weapons on them? Who thought that that was a good idea?
We never should have let them walk around with deadly weapons. Even if we had to, we should have doubled the guards. We can't expect them to follow their own rules simply out of fear of the central tower.
Oh, emotional support. Ah, yes. The emotional support 9mm. Just like what the doctor prescribed. Or a physician in this case. A very unorthodox therapy. Carrying a Glock with you at all times. The physician interrupts her sharply with no hint of concern. Oh, by the way, I just noticed that on-screen chat isn't working for some reason. Huh. Did it break? Why and how? Oh, right. I'm guessing that the bot didn't like the all caps message. Yep. Yep. That's what happened. Unfortunately. Let me do something. Will this work? Or do I need to do... Let me check the command for this, because I think I'm botching it. Or do I need to use the big letter? Let me check. Should be able to just give you additional privileges for messages, but I gotta check the command for that. Where was this? Actions. Ah, right. I forgot the right command. Like this. Ah, this only affects links. Never mind. Ah. Can I... I need to look more into that auto moderator, because I'm sure that there's a way to make this less restrictive, but I'm not entirely sure how yet. Hey, I won't fiddle with it for now. Guess I'll try to figure it out in the scheduled break, like 1 hour from now, so we don't waste time mid-stream. Because I'm fairly sure that there is a command that takes care of this. I just forgot which one. Okay. Let's get back to the story. The physician interrupts her sharply with no hint of concern.
Such matters fall beyond your purview, jailer. You only need to do what's required of your title. Is there anything else?
Yeah, he sounds like a more posh version of the idealist. At least to my ears.
There is another thing. 2 guests from the Foundation came through today. They said they were looking for someone named Doris. They've shown a willingness to cooperate, though they were involved with the incident in Corridor Zero.
The sound of writing continues. Her report is disregarded. The jailer takes a deep breath. The next part is difficult to say.
Sir, there is one more thing. I told Miss Octavia we're short on rations, and she's adjusted the inmates' portions accordingly, but that won't last long. Manus Vindicti stopped providing supplies back in March, and Sino has collected all the prisoners they had previously placed in her custody. I just wonder why they have so suddenly withdrawn from Ushuaia and brought all the prisoners with them.
Okay. In the meantime, I've checked out that I can change for how long the permissions work in the chatbot, but it will need some fiddling around in its commands. So I'll be able to do that after today's stream, I suppose.
I also noticed that we haven't received any orders from the government since Warden Tartuffe was transferred. In fact, we haven't had any communication with them at all. Sir, in frank terms, we're facing down a serious shortage of medicine, food, and basic supplies. At this rate, the Panopticon will soon be unable to operate. Where will our inmates go then?
In case you are all wondering about this preferred treatment, this guy owes me money. You wish. People owe me money usually. I'm the nice guy who lends money to others. I never lend money from others. The man before her says nothing for a long time. His pen is still flickering over the page.
Can we ask the Foundation for help? They've sent their people here. Maybe they're interested in the Panopticon? I could arrange a meeting if you like.
I'm guessing that the answer will be no, considering that he's supposedly associated with Manus Vindictae.
You're unusually talkative today.
The man finally stops writing and looks up.
Pardon, sir?
That's fascinating, you know. You've become so much more concerned about this place and its inmates than when you first started. You are now dictated by your title.
Is that a bone saw that he's carrying around? That's concerning. The outfit is a mess. A double belt, a poncho, a cowboy hat? Question mark? And what? A dog collar? Huh. He looks like he fell into a garbage heap filled with random edgelord outfits, effectively.
I didn't mean to overstep. I'm sorry.
You can go now. I have a great deal of work to do. Oh, and one more thing.
He beckons the jailer back before she leaves.
Make sure this month's Kamala Congress is held according to schedule.
Are you seeing this? Previously, the only one with glitching lines was the Idealist, and his section of dialogue is glitching as well, right here. So that's interesting.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you are going to be gaslighting me again about the glitches. I know what I saw, I'm not crazy. The glitches are there. I hit my new damage record in Enfield, 160k damage. Nice. Pretty nice. I think Arcane is currently capable of such feats, from what I've heard. The Jaguar disappears beyond the door, metallic footsteps fading into the distance. Only then does the physician allow his suppressed frustration to surface.
How many times have I warned you about this? The Idealist has to go. He's nothing but trouble for us. You're too soft on him, Aleph. Look at the mess he has us in now.
I beg your pardon?
Calm down.
But As far as I know, this is Aleph. But he's going by the title physician and he's talking to Aleph? Like, how? Is he looking into a mirror and talking to himself or what?
He's a rabble-rousing thief, a self-destructive maniac, a snake in the grass. He even stole the tea of Kamala from me. He's nearly ruined everything we've worked for.
I'm starting to think that this guy has split personalities. What is this? This is a D20. Oozing some kind of black slime. Oh, okay. Interesting. The man angrily raises the once lost and now found die. Is that the one that was on Idealist? In the dream room, it flickers with comforting glow.
It's only a die, Merlin. It does nothing more than a die can do.
He's calling him Merlin. Interesting.
You were there today. You saw what he did. He managed to change the Panopticon with this die, even if only for a second. He'll ruin my work, Aleph. He's a slave to his passion. His head is filled with impulsive thoughts. I don't trust him. We can't trust him.
And Tang is actually good. She provides enough cryo for me to use one less skill on Arcane. Yeah, Hellgate, I know. I'm using in my current team in Enfield Arcane and Tang as my main damage dealers. I'm basically alternating the battle skills and it's causing quite the AoE nuke. Actually, that's going to be shown quite well on tomorrow's stream, because I'll be streaming Enfield tomorrow as an extra stream. Okay.
I've done everything you've asked. Now it's time to do your part.
Aleph responds with indifference to the physician's frustration, continuing his writing without pause.
Time's ticking down. I can't afford any further mistakes. No one can be permitted to stop my experiment in the Panopticon. I'll prove it to them that we have found the path to the ultimate answer.
I'm not entirely clear on what is happening with the physician / Aleph, but I think that he is talking to himself essentially. From Hellgate, keep in mind I don't max my equipment because I forget about it. I still run one line weapon slots. Oh, don't worry, I'm in the same boat. I'm not min-maxing all that well either. I cannot be asked to farm for perfect essences either. Most of the time I have like 2 gold essences on 2 characters and that's it. The rest are just random ones that I grabbed along the way. Okay, so this is part 10. We've spent an hour and we just went through one part. Jesus Christ. Let us lock in a little bit. Part 10 it is.
La cabaña con el techo azul estaba silenciosa como siempre. En un sueño fugaz, la investigadora de paracausalidad descubrió la verdad detrás del dado de Babilonia. Examinó cuidadosamente los patrones ocultos, como un astuto astrólogo rastrea los movimientos de las estrellas. Lo que pueda parecer errores o accidentes no niega las verdades del destino.
Por el contrario, afirman su existencia. Solo pregúntale al gran Heráclito. En un universo no observado, el dado de Babilonia gira perpetuamente, dictando el destino de todos en un tiempo que es tanto infinitamente largo como infinitamente corto. Mira, cerró los ojos. Respetaba la aleatoriedad de los números y el destino. Respetaba el juicio del dado. De lo contrario, se habría perdido sumisamente en los huecos del tiempo y bajaría para siempre como un fantasma en el olvido.
Okay, so they didn't stop anywhere for me to read through all that. But I'll read it now, I suppose. Okay. Got from Hellgate again, got 30 pulls for Lino. My ass is not getting her. Well, I'm slightly better in that regard. I've got like, I think 60 or 70 pulls left from pulling Arcane because I got Arcane in a single 10 pull. So that was good. So, what did Recoleta write about? Because we know that this is basically part of her writing exercise. The cottage with the blue roof was silent as always. In a fleeting dream, the paracasualty researcher uncovered the truth behind the Die of Babylon. She carefully examined hidden patterns, much like an astute astrologer tracks the movement of the stars. What may seem like errors or accidents doesn't negate the verities of destiny. On the contrary, they affirm its very existence. Just ask the great Heraclitus. In an unobserved universe, the Die of Babylon spins in perpetuity, dictating the fate of all in time that is both infinitely long and infinitely short. Look, she closed her eyes. She respected the randomness of the numbers and destiny. She respected the die's judgment. Otherwise, she would have acquiescently lost herself in the gaps of time and wandered forever as a ghost in oblivion. Huh, so Recoleta is vague posting again. Try reading this text in Polish, I dare you. Can I even attempt that? Funnily enough, no, I don't think I can. I can read this perfectly in English, no problem, but when I try to even attempt to arrange this into Polish in my head, I'm failing miserably. That would take a while to translate this on a fly. It's kind of wild that I immediately understand everything, but when I try to find specific words for certain equivalents in Polish, I'm blanking and blanching on them completely. Despite Polish being my mother language. Because it uses a different part of the brain. Apparently so. Seems that way. When I'm using English, I'm just thinking English. I'm not translating it. So, there's that. In the solemn prison hall, under the half light of the next day, the prisoners of Komala gather. Octavia steps onto the podium with a stern expression.
First, allow me to make one thing clear. I had absolutely nothing to do with what happened to the Idealist yesterday. I swear it on my career as a writer. As you all know, the Idealist and I are the representatives of the two factions of La Sociedad de Poetas de las Américas. As you also know, we have been at peace since the Let Sleeping Dogs Lie agreement was signed a few months ago.
1 second. This is the first time that I'm seeing the glitching on anything that Octavia is saying. And it's glitching on that specific name for that agreement. Let sleeping dogs lie. Interesting.
Despite our differing views, we have coexisted to this day under the watchful gaze of the Central Tower. Rest assured that we will work tirelessly to locate the missing idealist.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself, Miss Octavia. His death wasn't your fault. After all, he was the one who threw the first verbal dagger.
The murmurs cascading below reach the ears of the prisoners from another faction.
Show some respect, you morons. The idealist is missing, not dead. I'm sure he'll show up in one piece before we know it.
Well, I'm not entirely sure about that, but we'll see, I guess.
Better face the hard truth now, Roberta. Though, I have to say, it won't be easy for you to find a new leader as mad as him.
A polite cough from the hostess pauses the heated debate.
Please, everyone, quiet down. According to the agreement, today's Congress should have been chaired by the idealist. Since he is still missing, I will be acting on his...
Pardon my lateness. Go ahead. I'm ready to moderate.
Okay. Unfamiliar footsteps break the regular pattern of events. The jailer leads her visitors to the entrance of the prison hall. Am I the only one that thinks this scene has a very bizarre imagery? In one side, people in chains. And what about it? On the other, people with straitjackets. Well, it is a prison. Still. Despite everything, it is a prison. Huh. Well, do know what you were expecting from an Arcanist prison. Do know what I was expecting, honestly, from it, but this is the imagery that we are getting.
Miss Ford, I looked over the incarceration and visitor records from the past 6 months. There was no mention of anyone named Doris.
Well, maybe she used a pseudonym.
Then it seems only the physician knows the whereabouts of Dr. Dorez. Miss Jailer, we need to meet with the physician. It's important.
Listen, you really shouldn't take the inmates' ramblings too seriously.
Considering the identity of the person before her, the jailer softens her tone.
But if it's as critical as you say, I'll make another request later. That said, I'm afraid the meeting won't happen for at least a few days.
Why? Is he so busy that he cannot meet them for a moment?
Understood.
For now, please join us for today's Congress.
Espectacular! Do you hold literary salons like this every day? This place is practically a writer's paradise. So, you're the host of the salon, Octavia? I say we set aside our differences and have a titillating literary discussion.
You've come at the right time. You may serve as witnesses for the Congress alongside the jailer, like a citizen's jury in a court.
Your suggestion aligns with the congressional rules. Very well.
Huh? Congress? Witnesses? Isn't this a salon? Which topic are we discussing? Literary theories? Schools? Principles? Languages? Oh, narrative perspectives?
None of those.
Octavia lowers her head, giving her questioner a long and deep look.
This Congress is about the randomness of fate, Miss Recoleta.
Okay, question mark?
Randomness of fate?
she sinks into confusion and bewilderment, the jailer's voice rises into a triumphant introduction.
Dear visitors from the Foundation, allow me to introduce the Kamala Congress. What happened yesterday was merely a brief anomaly. In the Panopticon, spontaneous order among the inmates is the norm, and the Kamala Congress serves as its truest reflection.
Spontaneous order?
Yes. Through the Congress, the inmates assign and distribute medication, communal duties, and rest periods. They are entirely self-regulated.
That sounds unorthodox, especially for that time period. The tone is filled with pride.
I hereby announce the commencement of the 7th Kamala Congress.
As her words fall, Octavia takes out a worn lottery box and a small trinket from her hand. The prisoners move in a perfect order, like a swarm of ants.
A cardboard box, and is that a paper die? It has 20 sides.
Yep, it's a D20.
Huh? We carefully examine hidden patterns, much like an astute astrologer tracks the movements of the stars.
Isn't this?
From somewhere in the audience, the girl unconsciously mumbles a revelation.
Isn't this just like the Die of Babylon? The MacGuffin that weaves through the entire plot? The infinite symbiote of fate? And the symbol that compresses time into a shriveled circle?
What may seem like errors or accidents doesn't negate the verities of destiny. On the contrary, they affirm its very existence. Just ask the great Heraclito.
Yeah, this is effectively unfolding the same way that the story did, the one that Recoleta was writing, to an extent.
In an unobserved universe, the die spins in perpetuity.
Yeah, even the lines are the same.
Dictating the fate of all in time that is both infinitely long and infinitely short?
Look, I've closed my eyes. I respect the randomness of numbers and destiny. I respect the die's judgment.
As the prisoners recite the announcements, the author's voice becomes more and more sluggish.
Otherwise, we will acquiesce and lose ourselves in the gaps of time and wander forever as ghosts in oblivion.
I don't understand what's going on. Oh, but the irony that I probably have more idea what's going on than anyone here.
Miss Recoleta, this is all in your novel, isn't it?
I'm afraid so. The recitations, the references to an astrologer and Heraclito, they couldn't possibly be just a coincidence. Then, could it be? Will they look to the die to dictate their fate?
The girl's audible shock does not affect the proceedings on the stage. The Congress continues.
I shall perform the first roll. Its result will determine the subsequent roll order for this Congress.
The hostess tosses the 20-sided die into the cardboard box and begins shaking it rhythmically.
The result is 5. This check complies with the prerequisite conditions of the ruling of the die, and the standard roll order has been established.
Are they basically role-playing at this point?
Inmate Jose, please come forth. You are the first in the initiative order. Therefore, fate's judgment shall fall upon you before all else.
From normal weirdo, I never understood how you read a 20-faced die. That's actually quite simple. Let me grab one. 1 second. When you hold a 20-sided die, like so, the face that is directly upwards is the one that you're reading. It's pretty simple, right? Because, as you can see, they are symmetrically opposed. The bottom one and the top one always land like this. So you are always reading that one, and if you are holding it, all you need to do is just keep a finger on the bottom of the die to know where the top is. So I guess it's a trick with how you pick up the die, I suppose. It's quite instinctual to someone who uses them for any period of time. So there's that. Yeah, the first in the initiative order. Oh, the glitches are back. And the glitches are on the word initiative this time around, signifying it in some way. Here, take a look at this word specifically, the word initiative. It's slightly glitching every other second. And I know for a fact that it's visible on stream because I'm looking at the stream on the side. So no point gaslighting me there. Therefore, fate's judgment shall fall upon you before all else.
Me? Okay.
The prisoner steps forward, taking the fragile box in his hands, shaking it to roll the die of absolute fate inside. Speaking of which, in that image, that die has landed on an impossible angle, because it should either be faced with this number up or this number up. It physically couldn't stop in a position like this, so the artist made an oopsie there. Even with perspective being accounted for, the die couldn't stop in a position like this. So they are cheating, or the artist doesn't know his perspectives. That's also possible.
17! It's 17! Ah, what a wonderful number! 17! Like an oasis in an endless desert.
The result is 17, and the score combination 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3. According to the ruling of the die, he shall receive 60 risperidone tablets, 40 clozapine tablets, and 40 diazepam tablets. Additionally, he will assume the role of cultural manager of the Comala Congress.
How the hell are they reading this? This seems like some bullshittery from the School of Apiron. From that island that we left some time ago.
Before he takes office, inmate Jose must clean the first restroom for the next 7 days.
Wonderful! I'll gladly clean the toilet. I've got the brooms here, the toilet detergent, oh, and the toilet brush too. I have been waiting for this opportunity. As cultural manager, I will speak with every inmate and complete the Comala memoir, finally capturing the moments when literary sparks ignite and explode.
Next is inmate Eduardo. Please come forth.
And everyone in the crowd acts like this is perfectly normal. So, The man in question is a nervous mess. His gaze flickers, his eyebrows fight for space on his forehead, and his teeth clash against each other in turmoil.
But I can't remember the ruling of the die. I can't remember anything. Damn it. Sorry, Senora Octavia, but I don't think I can do this. I didn't get any medication in the last Congress. I've had multiple episodes. It's like my brain's jammed or something.
It's all right, inmate Eduardo. It's easy. You don't need to know the rules to roll the die. Give me your hand, I'll help you.
That's kind of weird. Like, huh. The prisoner follows suit, hands trembling as he shakes the box. The only thing he can do.
My sincerest apologies, inmate Eduardo. The die dictates that you must voluntarily descend into the sewers and write the thematic keyword that currently causes you the most anxiety on the walls.
Well, I'm guessing that the word will be medication because he didn't get any. So there's that.
Thank you very much, Miss Octavia. I think my head's about to split in half. I need a moment to rest before I head down there.
Miss Jailer, are you sure that your self-governing body of inmates is working as intended? Because I don't think it is.
And fulfill my destiny.
Clutching his head, the prisoner leaves. His steps heavy, his hands empty, but his brow finally falling at ease.
Jailer, are you really letting them make every decision with the roll of a die? Eduardo is clearly in a much more dire condition than Jose. The medication should have been given to him.
Yes, correct.
As I said, this is how the inmates of the Panopticon maintain order. The physician periodically provides medication, food, and other necessities, and the inmates distribute them in this spontaneous and efficient manner.
I don't think you understand what the word efficient means. Because I don't think it means what you think it means.
Neither authority nor violence is involved in this process. This is what sets Kamala apart from all other custodial facilities.
Is that it? You abdicate all agency to the roll of a paper die and call it the randomness of fate? What kind of sick joke is this?
The one that you wrote in your story, effectively.
Please calm down, Recoleta. This is the method that the inmates have collectively decided to recognize. They're prepared to face the possible sacrifices that it brings.
But why?
This isn't about you or me. It's not our place to interfere with a procedure that has been proven both pragmatic and effective. My duty is to assist the inmates in maintaining order through the methods that they have established. And yours is to witness their self-governance, not judge it.
That's a lot of nonsense, but sure. The jailer takes a deep breath, her words clearly meant to convince herself as much as anyone listening.
If everything somehow unfolds as it does in my novel, then every role is already predetermined. Verton, do you remember the story I told you last night? The odds of both success and failure were consecutively multiplied.
I remember.
As soon as a character experiences a failure, they continue to suffer failures in an endless chain reaction. None of Eduardo's future dice rolls will ever result in a number higher than 10.
That's a weird rule, but sure.
At this rate, this system, this sociedad, ruled by the dice of Babylon, is bound to collapse.
She looks around, realizing that her words, weighty as they seem to her, have garnered no attention. Like they are ignoring her completely.
Eduardo will never receive any medication. The moment he writes the keyword on the wall could very well be the moment he spells out his own death. No, I can't let this happen. I have to do something.
Recoleta rushes to the stage.
Wait, Miss Recoleta! What are you doing?
I'm done with Enfield for today. I didn't go to work today. Wow, okay. So I already played all games I play, and now I'm gonna play DNA. Fair enough. If you have a day, a free day from work, why not? Oh, hey there. Welcome to the stream. We are quite deep into the stream at this point, but we still have some of it left, I suppose, like half an hour or so. So enjoy the rest of it. Okay, so some new tidbits dropped in. Frequency entry 303. The transformation of a quantity into quality is the greatest realization of the method of exhaustion. Check entry. Okay. December 1st, numbers 704 to 733. Each person is uniformly allocated 1 dose of chlorpromazine and 1 dose of thalidomide. Jesus Christ, those medicine names. December 3rd, numbers 704 to 710, 712 to 730, 732 to 733. Each person is uniformly allocated 3 doses of chlorpromazine and 3 doses of thalidomide. Like, this is probably the system that they had before this whole clown world of self-governance, I'm guessing. December 7th. Different numbers this time. Each person is uniformly allocated 6 doses of chlorpromazine and 11 doses of veronal. Okay. If I remember my nicks correctly, that's not new dude, that's Potatevi from Discord, I think. If my memory serves me well on that.
Few soldiers would appreciate the idea of taking orders from an accursed die. A skilled commander would
Dude is a gentle neutral, yes, but new isn't isn't the neutral in this case. I wasn't referring to the gender, I was referring to the new part. Few soldiers would appreciate the idea of taking orders from a cursed die. A skilled commander would never rely on luck to make decisions.
On the battlefield, the distance for every maneuver should be clear and precise. Not 2 numbers with a D in the middle. Unless you're looking to invite a mutiny. That said, if a die with such power were placed in a soldier's hand, I'm pretty sure they'd roll it and let it decide their destiny.
Luck won't always be on your side.
Exactly. There's no good luck without bad luck. Just as a coin must have 2 sides. Luck essentially defines one's entire life. And whether it's make or break, life or death, the die will keep on rolling. Of course, dice aren't the only tools used to play with fate. Coins, lotteries, even shells on the beach can all serve the same purpose. Thanks to the randomness of fate, a Babylonian may rise to be a proconsul one day and fall into slavery the next.
Some tragedies could have been avoided.
Well, that's where historians come in. With a little creative editing of the history books, even the random rolls of a die can suddenly make sense.
That's called hindsight, effectively.
What were once avoidable tragedies are rebranded as reasonable incidents, or even desirable outcomes.
At least the role of an eye is impartial.
You're starting to sound like a gambler.
My dude, we are playing a gacha.
But even gamblers, after hitting a hot streak or a losing spell, start to convince themselves that they've figured out the grand pattern behind games of chance. It isn't just gamblers either. Witches tried to influence fate through rituals and charms. Ancient mathematicians calculated probabilities on paper. Some even wrote books on game theory. Meanwhile, others suspected there were cheaters among them. I just hope these high rollers unite to confront the demon who holds the laws of the universe, the past, present, and future, in its claws, and give it a well done and a slap in the face.
You're talking in circles today. To be honest, he's usually speaking in circles, the narrator.
Haven't I always?
My
It's
point
just
exactly.
today, the die rolled a peculiar number. But all things considered, I prefer the other kind of commander. The die is cast. But regardless of what number has been rolled, it's time to cross the river.
19. So that's another lore tidbit done, and we are on part 11. Before we jump into it, I'll take a short bathroom break, so be right back. And I'm back. Okay. Let's get into part 11 then. This one seems to contain a fight in it. Let's say a world maker. On the stage, Octavia remains the picture of serenity as she orchestrates the Congress.
Miss Recoleta, as a witness to the Congress, you have the right to express your doubts calmly.
They are all acting like they are performing a role in a play, effectively.
Listen, you...
Like a role assigned by the narrator, which is Recoleta in this case, as a writer of that story of hers. She recalls the complaints of her two former companions, the jailer's dismissal, and the confused expressions of every editor she has ever faced. If she were to lay out every detail of her novel here and now, she would only get the same response.
No, it's nothing. It's just that I'd like to participate in the dice rolling ceremony. May I?
Of course. The very fact that you're standing here in the Panopticon proves that you share a common fate with it.
Recoleta surveys the prisoners waiting to cast the die. The expressions are serene, untroubled, calmly awaiting their fate. The joys and misfortunes of those before them do not affect them, the long winding queue in the slightest. She takes a deep breath.
It doesn't matter when I roll the die, since the rolls are simply a reflection of the randomness of fate, right?
Oh, hey there, Vanora. Welcome to the stream. Glad to see some new people around. Yep, first time chatter. Welcome, welcome. I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Not much of it left, but we are still like half an hour away from the ending.
Precisely.
Then I'd like to perform my role after the 27th inmate. Is that alright?
You don't see reverse streams very often? On the contrary. When it comes to my streams, it's every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Every week. For months now. So if you wanted more reverse streams, you are in the right place. It's one of my main streaming games. So there's that. I'm going through the whole last story. Every event I can grab. Everything.
As you wish, Miss Recoleta.
And this is portrayed as a fight? With what? Chests? Hell? Why are we fighting Is that supposed to symbolize the resources that we are distributing or what? Okay, we can use plant prompter, I guess.
I have all the essentials for writing poetry. You, me, and our opponent.
Small game that examines your luck. Roll a dice every round, different numbers cause different effects. Okay. Deal 1 damage to a random enemy, triggers 4 times. Gotcha.
No worries. Ah, an interesting one.
There we go.
通幽动微，莫运虚无。
Well, with plant prompter this should be easy. There's 4 extra hits at the end of every round. Plant prompter's mortal enemy crates. Kind of correct. I cannot do my millions of damage. Why? Who knew that crates were so resilient?
Let me think on it.
Is this mass attack? Okay, might as well use that.
Relax.
En todos los momentos.
This should suffice.
天道必反，其势好还。
Nuestro adversario es el tiempo. Do I have to do this?
No, Hazelinga.
From Vanora, I recently started playing it and I don't understand a lot of things. Don't worry, I've been playing it for like 5 or so months now and I don't understand many things either. But I'm trying my best. And we are streaming this to figure out things as we go together. With accumulated effort, we are slowly figuring things out, both story-wise and gameplay-wise. If you want to figure things out with us, I recommend joining us regularly. Also, there is Discord, where we are figuring out things off-stream.
It seems fate favors you, Miss Recoleta. Here are your supplies.
Yeah, the plot is very unique. It's very novel-like, I would say. It's similar to some novels that I've read in the past, in its theme and general feel, and I'm enjoying it so far.
Please be sure to follow the distribution rules of the Congress. This is an essential structure of Comala, and a belief shared by all its inmates. Honor it.
Just as I suspected. These supplies belong to me now, Octavia. I'm free to use them however I please.
By the way, if you don't want spoilers, I'm just giving a heads up that this is chapter 9 of the main story that we are doing right now. So if you just started and you are not that far in, just a fair warning, we are quite far into the main story. We are in a prison, so there's that. Recoleta strides towards Eduardo, who has curled up in a distant corner, clutching his head, and as his body trembles in silence. So I'm guessing that Recoleta is going to give that poor man his medications. But does she even know what medications he needs?
Here, Eduardo. Take them.
But I haven't fulfilled my destiny yet.
Well, we are changing your destiny, I suppose.
These precious tablets and capsules, I can't accept them. They are gifts from fate. The die has placed them in your palm.
And her palm is placing them in your palms. So there's that.
But I don't need them. You do.
Thank you, kind senorita.
The prisoner's trembling stops. He blankly pinches his arm, as if trying to distinguish reality from dream. Then, all at once, he snatches the medication from her hands and shoves it into his mouth. Beg your pardon? That's a straight street to overdose.
Eduardo, what's wrong? Are you taking the medicine right now? There's no need to rush. There's plenty of it. You can have it all.
Por Dios, Eduardo! How could you squander fate's gifts like this? Kind señorita, please, give me the medication. I need it more than anyone else.
No, I'm the one who needs the most. Give me the medication. I beg of you.
Okay, so when she's acting out of order, they are breaking down the societal rules that they followed until now. Okay.
With the protection of these amulets, I might finally be able to get a peaceful night's sleep. No more trembling floors and wailing ghosts.
The prisoners shove and struggle, countless hands reaching towards hapless Ryder, trying to snatch the small round pills of salvation.
Enough! Enough!
Maybe that system did work, after all. A blue glow spreads through the room, forcing the prisoners to clutch their heads and fall down to their knees. The riot comes to an abrupt halt.
You shouldn't have done that, Miss Recoleta.
Yeah.
Your ignorant generosity could shatter the very basis of our survival.
She steps towards Eduardo, now writhing in pain, and picks up a few stray capsules scattered at his feet. The pills dissolve into a stream of voided sand, vanishing as it pours through her fingers. Huh?
We have never had such chaos at the Congress. Understand this. We rely only on the randomness of fate to distribute supplies and assign responsibilities.
But why, though?
If you disrupt the status quo, the entire system of the Panopticon will collapse beyond repair. It is only by respecting the arbitrariness of fate and adhering to the rules of the Die of Babylon that we have kept this place functioning all this time.
So they need an unaffiliated and neutral arbitrator to function as a society.
The Die of Babylon? Tell me, how did you know this name? Are you the one orchestrating this whole thing?
Recoleta, equally confused and furious, grabs the hostess's collar.
¿Podría ser? ¿Eres Aleph? ¿Tal como sospechaba Verdun?
Could it be? Are you Aleph? Just as Verdun suspected?
Let go of me, Mr. Coletta. Have you gone mad?
Well, we clearly see she's not Aleph, I guess.
The role of the die is absolutely random. I'm not orchestrating anything. Before the Congress began, I made an oath. I intend to keep it.
Please, calm down, Miss Recoleta. I think she's telling the truth.
She lets go of her grip as the reality of the situation dawns on her.
Sorry, Octavia, but please, you have to tell me how you learned about the Die of Babylon. I must know. Only my pen pal and I should have any knowledge about this die.
I heard about it from the physician. He described it as a symbol of collective consciousness that we could harness to maintain immaculate order in the Panopticon.
Right, so that would imply that I was kind of correct, that Aleph and the physician are the one and the same, despite him talking to Aleph. So that's supporting my theory that they are effectively a split personality, I think.
The Comala Congress was coined, iterated, and perfected by the physician based on this concept.
The physician again. Everything eventually leads back to him, just as we suspected.
I see.
Recoleta casts her eyes over to the silent jaguar, who has remained wordless from beginning to end, watching it all unfold.
Jailer, we have to meet with the physician in person. Now.
As I've told you many times, Dr. Merlin is too busy at the moment. I couldn't possibly trouble him over a novel and a pen pal. They are just fantasies.
Couldn't you make an exception? What if they're not just fantasies? What if they're tied to the very survival of this place? Miss Recoleta said the Panopticon could collapse because of the Die of Babylon.
Are you seriously telling me you believe that nonsense?
It wasn't nonsense, nor are they fantasies. You saw with your own eyes how I won the die roll.
It was just a coincidence.
The jailer's words are at odds with the subtle motion of her eyes and face. The Foundation's investigators seize on a prime opportunity to apply pressure. Jesus Christ, I'm stumbling today.
What if we present you with stronger evidence to prove it's more than just a coincidence? If everything in the Panopticon proceeds according to Miss Recoleta's novel as she says, she should be able to predict what happens next.
Well, then she should predict whether or not the jailer is going to follow on the plea.
Including the roll results of the absolutely random die.
That's right. The Die of Babylon isn't random at all. It's nothing but a supercilious fraud veiled under the guise of fate, and an actor of the inescapable loop of history, and...
There's glitching on the words Die of Babylon this time. So it's not tied to a specific character, just to specific words, I'm guessing. The glitches.
And Not one of you is paying attention to me whatsoever. Ugh, to hell with this era of ignoring unknown writers.
Miss Recoleta, please make your prediction for the next inmate's die roll.
So far, this chapter has been the most boring of the stream so far. Devs are trying to imply that this is not real, maybe? Yes, I'm picking up that hint that this is all somehow like a hallucination of sorts, maybe a dream or something like that. I don't have a solid theory yet. I mean, I know that this is probably not too riveting to watch, because this is basically an investigation. All of it, the whole chapter.
This way, you can prove to Miss Jailer the irrefutable connection between Kamala and your novel, The Rise and Fall of Sanity.
You finally remembered its name! Oh, what sweet balm to my spirit!
Miss Octavia, please continue the Congress and let the next inmate perform their role. Then Miss Recoleta's statement will be proven true.
The hostess of the Congress remains non-committal.
I appreciate the reminder. No matter the interruption, the Kamala Congress must go on. Though not for Miss Recoleta's sake, of course. Next inmate, please.
Following the dice designated order, the next prisoner steps forward to roll.
Hello, inmate Garcia. You know what to do.
Of course.
La sexta cara. Un pilar roto. El flujo de la fortuna y la calamidad.
The sixth face, a broken pillar. The conflicts of fortune and calamity.
So the result of the next roll will be a 6.
Yep. Her prophetic precision plunges the whole of new encounters into breathless silence.
As fate reveals, the number is 6.
It's all scripted.
Just as Miss Recoleta predicted.
That could still be a coincidence. Do it again.
La 13ª cara. Una cadencia desconcertante, sin un verdadero principio ni fin.
The 13th face, bewildering cadenza lacking a true beginning or end. I mean, this could be her arcane skill, changing the result of the dice.
La cuarta cara. Un hombre que se ahogaba usó el último de sus fuerzas para nadar a la seguridad, solo para descubrir que había confundido un espejo con la superficie del agua.
The third face, a drowning man used the last of his strength to swim to safety, only to discover he'd mistaken a mirror for the surface of the water.
La 17ª cara. Cojeaba hacia el distante oasis, solo para que la débil humedad y la inquietante quietud revelaran cruelmente que era un espejismo.
The 17th face, he limped towards the distant oasis, only for the faint moisture and airy stillness to clearly reveal it as a mirage. Excuse me.
La sexta cara. Otro pilar roto con grietas idénticas a la última. Confirmó la hipótesis de la investigadora de paracausalidad. Este lugar solía ser un edificio circular.
The sixth face, another broken pillar, with identical cracks to the last. It confirmed the paracasualty researchers' hypothesis. This place used to be a circular building.
Is that enough? I've almost finished the entire chapter.
It's not possible.
So she keeps guessing right. One coincidence after another begins to stir into an uproar. The coincidences appear endless.
Who are you?
She's the author.
I'm sorry if this comes as a shock to you, but I did warn you, Octavia. Now it's proven. The Die of Babylon is anything but the so-called randomness of fate.
Have you been sent here by some god? Or are you a hobby prophet?
Worse, she's a fanfic writer.
Have you brought this knowledge to save us? Or to shatter our beliefs? Our world?
A question destined never to need an answer. She lets her eyes fall into the cardboard box and onto the 20-sided die. The ridiculousness of its nature becomes starkly visible.
What is this thing in my hand? What are we? What is this prison?
I don't know if it's some kind of sorcery or arcane skill, but it's unfathomable. I'll take you to the physician. Not because of your earlier request, but because the situation has escalated beyond my means.
Did they break the illusion? Perhaps. Maybe this, disrupted the script, so to speak.
The overseer of the Panopticon will decide how to handle your situation.
To be honest, Miss Recoleta, I wasn't sure you'd be able to correctly predict everything.
But she did.
Timekeeper, are you saying that you risked everything on a hunch?
Not the first time, not the last.
It worked, didn't it?
Come with me. Dr. Merlin's office is in the central tower.
For her part, the now vindicated writer follows at the end of the line, letting her mind race like a bullet train.
Porque solo la muerte puede cerrar el ciclo de la historia.
In the 6th version of my novel, everyone in the town dies because of the Die of Babylon, or only death can close the loop of history.
Y carcelero, eres el empleado del banco, ¿verdad?
And jailer, you're the bank clerk, right?
Entonces, al final, también sufrirás un colapso como el empleado del banco, cuando se da cuenta de que él y el pescador de dunas son la misma persona.
So in the end, will you also have a meltdown, like the bank clerk does, when he realizes that he and the Dune Piscator are the same person?
If all of this is tied to the rise and fall of sanity, then, as its creator, I will get to the bottom of this.
Well, technically you are holding the script, aren't you? Okay, so that's to be continued, seems. Think we can get through that little tidbit still before the end of the stream. This is another part of the past, I'm guessing, about when Doris arrived at the prison. The Weaving of Shadows, Volume 5. The boundary shatters and an astrologer glimpses an unspeakable truth. Enter darkness. After that, I attended several more literary salons and wrote things I had never dared write before. Mrs. Octavia, however, never made an appearance. I didn't see her for quite some time. That was until I followed some prisoners to a large hall and heard her voice among a group of unfamiliar inmates. She noticed me and greeted me warmly. She told me she had been working on some new initiatives. She told me of her hopes to gather more support, improve conditions in the prison, and initiate a spiritual shift towards realism and resistance. I truly believed back then that everything was heading in the right direction. Before all eyes, the host of the assembly, the idealist, steps up to the podium. By the randomness of fate, we have gathered here to participate in the Komala Congress. Before the eyes of destiny, historians, and astrologers alike, I now declare a new rule amendment. A duel before a crowd of eager eyes, the winner awarded 10 pounds of gold, and the loser left with 10 flies to descend upon him. Before the Komala Congress convenes, we shall assign 2 members of La Sociedad this noble mission, a duel decreed by fate. Doris hears the faint click of a small object rattling inside a box. Jose, Julio, step forward and draw the sharpest blade of your literary thought. According to the rules, I will preside over this duel with fun, fairness and impartiality. Now prepare yourselves. I'm not sure if I'm role-playing his cadence of voice correctly, but that's how I remember it. The absurd, fictional, metaphysical duel ends within a fraction of a second. The vicious prisoner receives 10 shining golden pills, while the loser collapses to the floor. The crowd erupts into chaos, Octavia's cries rising above the noise.
What's going on?
Mr. Julio, he's having another seizure.
Miss Erd, please, Julio needs your help.
Octavia, you know this is all part of the randomness of fate. The randomness of fate? She doesn't argue back as she usually would. Instead, she stands frozen in place as if stunned. What's the matter, Miss Octavia? This is an emergency. I require your assistance. Answer me, Octavia. Why are you trying to change Julio's fate? Because no one should die like this.
I don't want him to die. Please, Miss Octavia, help me so I can help him.
Her voice cracks, leaving only the sound of her stifled sobs lingering in the air. What's wrong, Miss Octavia? How's his condition now? Miss Octavia? She remains silent. After a long pause, she casts the heavy stone into the bottomless water. Miss Hurt?
Mr. Julio is gone. He left us the moment the duel was over.
How could I be? Seizures can potentially lead to irreversible brain damage, but how could it happen so fast? A precious life, gone so quickly, swept away by something so senseless, lost in a nonsensical duel. What exactly is this so-called Congress? Some kind of punitive system unique to Komala Prison? But how can someone's life be decided by something so absurd? Are we simply meant to surrender to fate so twisted, no matter how absurd it is? Is it so irrefutable? This isn't the fate I seek. It's a distortion of it. It's my fault for not finding a better way. I used to think Mr. Julio didn't care about anything but his own novels. I never imagined my ideals would mean anything to him. But he was the first person in La Sociedad to support me. But that really was an irreversible fate. A fate granted by Mr. Julio by the Die of Babylon. The Die of Babylon? Her question is left unanswered. The host of the saloon goes on. Julio has stepped off the endless staircase and reached the silent water. He has become as calm as water, dissolved into his own pond. Let us offer our blessings, our silence, our farewells to this matter of fate. And let us imagine that Julio's literary career was a happy one. The hall remains deathly silent, no applause, no response.
A life is taken, and that's all you have to say?
You really don't care whether we live or die, do you, idealist? And all of you, don't any of you have anything to say? Why are you all just standing there? They all act like they are following a script, literally. If we hadn't kept rejecting the physician's treatment, maybe Mr. Julio wouldn't have. Rejecting? How ridiculous. You have no clue what that demon in human skin is capable of? How he'll reach into your mind and mold it like clay, reshaping it until it becomes your prison. In the realm of fiction, fate, and reality, the dissolution of the ego is inevitable and irreversible. Therefore, we must not resist the ending dealt to us by the die of Babylon. Do you even know what you're talking about? I never truly understood you, idealist. I will find a better way. I must rewrite this tragic tale. If you disagree, then leave La Sociedad. I will not have our great poem disrupted by an offbeat syllab. Besides, your tedious talk of social responsibility should have been purged long ago. Modern Latin America belongs to the visceral realism, and you are too ignorant to even attempt to seek it out.
What a ridiculous, laughable man you are!
Yes, I see it clearly now. It's your tyranny that has driven everyone to ruin. Well, let me tell you something. I'm not leaving. I will establish a new literary movement right here in Comala. Right here in La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas. And we, will use our literature to rescue the inmates who suffer all around us.
I've had enough of your condescending stone-hearted ego and your pompous sophistry. He'll only bring misfortune upon us with his constant rambling about that visceral realism.
Honestly, the idealist and his rhetoric reminds me of 210 from that Apeiron island. Kind of, in a sense. I hope I never see you again, Mrs. Uda. We have to get out of here. Another second round, this maniac might just doom us all.
Only the physician, the true overseer of this prison, can save us from this situation. Please join our society, Miss Torres.
Help us build a renewed Sociedad de Poetas together. I've already spoken with the jailer. As long as we follow the rules and help them manage Comala, we'll be free to discuss literature.
Forgive me, Miss Octavia.
Forgive me, Miss Octavia.
While I truly appreciate your kind offer, I'm afraid my conversation with the physician must remain private.
Why?
Please answer me this question first. From what you've seen, you'd say this prison is circular in shape, yes?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Then tell me, at the center of the structure, is there a watchtower? What? Impossible, you guessed it exactly. And our destination is somewhere inside that watchtower. How did you know?
I've had such a lovely time here. So much so that I almost forgot what I came for.
What did you even came here for in the first place? Which is precisely why I must put an end to this cruel face fast masquerading as fate. Do you intend to rebel against the Watchtower's gaze, just like the idealist? You must understand me, Miss Octavia.
That inescapable gaze, and the permanent theme of fate.
To get closer to the truth I seek, I have no choice but to meet the administrator that young lady spoke of.
You've decided to save the people here with your own hands, in your own way, and so have I. There are things I must face alone.
So she met with the administrator, with the physician. Thought she is well used to death. The pain of Julius passing still lingers in her heart, causing her to say these words that don't quite feel like herself.
I see. Lend me your palm. I'll draw you the way to his office. Good luck to you. And to all of us.
Farewell, Miss Octavia. I truly hope all goes well for you in the days ahead.
As Octavia retreats, slowly fading into distance, she quietly adds,
And in your journey, finding answers about fate, too.
So, that unlocks the part 12 for us, and we are nearing the end of the chapter, I think. We'll be done with it on Monday, I'm pretty sure. Unless I get derailed again. So that's up to chat partially. But that will be it for today. I'll be taking my 1 hour break, so we'll be back around 7 p.m. GMT +1 time zone wise, and I'll be back with Cyberpunk 2077 stream then. For now, if you missed anything from this stream, I recommend going to my YouTube channel, which is linked in the description of Twitch, and also available through the exclamation YouTube command in chat. And if you want to pick up the schedule for the upcoming week, it will be posted on my Discord server, which is linked in the description on both YouTube channel and the Twitch channel. And it's available through the exclamation Discord command to get the link directly. I recommend joining it and checking out the schedule whenever the new one pops up. We also discuss those chapters on the channel on a regular basis. And that will be it. I will be grateful for any comments or likes under the VOD on YouTube. Besides that, thank you for watching and see you around in